Blessed love to all our international homeschool scholars and all who desire to be a part of this wonderful program.
We are having a massive international homeschool enrollment party on Sunday, the 17th of March from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time.
We will have special guests, live activities, free gifts for all who enroll, and a free education package for all who register.
To register for free, visit our website at priestisaacinstitute.com or send us an email at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The International Homeschool Enrollment Party. See you there.
Prosperity is a herbal remedy that has been naturally designed to nourish the prostate gland. Prosperity uses a combination of leaves, roots, and barks to create a tincture designed to nourish your prostate gland. It also will assist in prostate-related issues such as erectile dysfunction, swollen prostates, and problems related to the passage of urine. Call or WhatsApp 728-8289, 728-8289 and get your bottle today. Prosperity.
Oh yes, my royal family, blessed love, glorifying the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Yes, we're giving thanks for the beautiful Sabbath and, of course, going into the Tiger's Nest this evening, giving thanks for all those who are partaking with us, reminding you, as you just heard a moment ago, it is Sunday, the 17th of March, so it's just a strong away from now. Sunday, the 17th of March, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Parents, bring the children. This is the International Homeschool Enrollment Party. Listen, family, if it's one thing I know, everyone wants a better future for their children. But I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with their state of mind. Believe me, by the time the child is 5 or 7, he or she has already gone on the path that they will definitely be staying on for the rest of their lives, especially when they're 12, 13, 14. You want to make sure by then you would have instilled in them the morals and the disciplines and the standards that at least you want to keep. So for sure, definitely an investment in the thought pattern, an investment in the mind frame of the youths is extremely important. And that is what our International Homeschool Program provides. We're dealing with African history and heritage. When your child has a love and a respect for their African history and heritage, I mean, the sky is the limit, you know? Plus, remember, we bring in the sciences. We're talking about astronomy. And then, of course, we have biology. All of these subject areas are a part of our International Homeschool Program. Then general knowledge. And then, of course, yoga and language arts and the Kiswahili. So, family, this is why I am inviting you on Sunday, the 17th of March. This is totally free. There's no charge whatsoever for this. In fact, you will be receiving a free education package when you register. So for those who register, you can't just show up. This is going to be online, but you have to contact me and register for Sunday, the 17th of March. And once you register, you listening to me? Once you register, you will receive a free education package. Now, hear me. Those who will be enrolling on that day, they will receive free gifts. Now, this is a serious thing. So once you're there, free gifts. When you enroll, if you're going to enroll, no one is twisting your arm, more free gifts. And let me tell you a secret. On that day, you're going to have special offers as it relates to the enrollment process. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're ready to take advantage of the special offers. Because I'm telling you, family, I'm saying this from my heart. You know how I feel about the homeschool program. This is something that I would have put a lot of energy into. My family would have put a lot of energy into. It's a continuous growing program. Every day we're adding to the program itself. And I know for a fact, anyone that's a part of the International Homeschool Program any family, because it's not just the young ones, it's the whole family. Parents, mother, father, children, little baby, they definitely will be more in tune, more appreciative of their African history and heritage. You can take it from me. Just give me a moment. Let me take a taste of my prosperity here. Beautiful. Wow, that's some strong stuff. How many of you have your bottle of the prosperity? Huh? You haven't received your prosperity as yet? Come on, family, you know what to do. Definitely visit the website, priestisaacinstitute.com. The link is in the description below. All right, what I want to touch upon this evening, very important. We all know that when you hear about the devil, you always see this red fella, sometimes black, with the pitchfork and the long tail and with some horns. Now, where did that come from? Now, this is a serious case of reverse psychology, because number one, no devil have no horn. In fact, I mean, what's a devil, by the way? There ain't no devil. We all know that, underneath the ground with no big pot boiling and no fork in his hand and have on a red suit and the tail and the horns. That doesn't exist. In fact, most animals with horns are loving, caring creatures. In fact, all animals with horns. You understand? There's nothing wrong with horns. But because we have associated horns with this devil character, somehow now, when anciency appears to us with horns, we're quick to say, oh no, that's the devil. Oh no, that's satanic. Oh no, voodoo. Oh no, obia. And this is why we hate everything that is African, because the reverse psychology has already been put into motion. So when we come across our anciency, for whatever reason, we somehow think that it is the devil. Now, any one of us that grew up in the society or a culture similar to the one that I grew up in, whenever you see anything that is Afrocentric and it has horns, you tend to shun away because you've been taught that that's satanic or that's the devil, because we know that the devil is the one that carries the horn. So when the world of even entertainment is mocking our ancient tradition, we have an understanding of why we are fulfilling this ancient tradition. Almost everything that you see us do has to do with connecting with the spiritual world. In fact, not even almost, everything, even the way we sleep at night, everything, what we eat, when we eat, how we eat, everything. So the symbol of the horns, is symbolic of the symbol of light, the symbol of the crown chakra. That is why when you observe the chakra system and the full petals of light, 144,000 radiating, you see the light coming out of the crown of the heavens, that soft area on the top of the head, that when you feel the little baby's head when it's born, you feel that softness at the top. That is said to be the opening, the portal, and therein the light goes in and the light comes out. Now, this is deep, but before we even go further, I want to make sure that the point here is clear. Whether you knew anything about horns, you have no reason to believe that horns are bad yet. Our ancient African tradition utilized the horns in many different ways. We just began it. I have much more to show you, but I'm just showing you at this point that we have always utilized the horns of different animals too. Yeah. But then for whatever reason, the enemy came in now and brought in this whole concept of the devil and gave the devil the horns. Now, when we were introduced to this devil fella, most of us, we never knew that we would have utilized, again, the horns in our African tradition. Anything with horns to us had to be the devil. I wonder if you understand me. Because they never taught you anything about your ancient Afrocentricity in school. But they taught you about the devil. And the devil have horns. So when you buck up upon horns now, and you say, oh, he has horns. They have horns. They portray horns. It must be that of the devil. Now, speaking of the devil, though, Alexander the so-called Great. Now, you'll observe Alexander the Fake on the coinage. You notice that he is portrayed himself with horns. Is he highlighting that he's a devil? En contraire, mon frère, he's actually trying to tell you that he's a god. God with horns? Hold on. Hold on. Now, Alexander, for those who may not know, is that great general. That's why he's called Alexander the Great. Well, he was born in Macedonia, but he's the great general from Greece, Alexander the Fake. And he would have done a serious job in looting and plundering ancient Kemet. Well, by the time he came in, it was not as ancient as it was, but it was still old Kemet. And he, the same Alexander, would have established different infrastructure, of course, the Temple of Alexandria, etc. But he would have fashioned himself as a god. And this is why you see him portrayed with the horns. With the what? With the horns. Not of Satan, you know, with the horns of the god Amun. All right. Now, this is why when you observe Moses, who? Moses. Moses is seen in many ancient pictures as being portrayed with the horns. In fact, in the same way you see holy people with the halo around their head, holy people in the ancient artwork were portrayed with horns. So you see Moses with horns. In some cases, you see his brother Aaron with the little horns. But what did I say earlier? The horns were very symbolic. Can nobody have no horns? The horns were symbolic of the light that emanates from the Holy One. So you go all around Europe, you see pictures of Moses and in some cases of the God figure with the light busting out of the head, appearing to be horns. You have many different photos, many different statues, many different images of Moses, the writer of the 10 Commandments. And you see Moses portrayed with horns. Is Moses the devil now? Literal horns, not the light coming out of his head, but horns. But why is he portrayed with horns? Because the horns is symbolic of the light that is emanating from him. This is not me. I'm not making this up. I'm just telling you what I know. So this is why now, when God came down on the mountain, even in certain renditions, they portray God literally as a being, a man, with the great lights coming out of his head. Look like some long horns. Then of course, Moses would have been in the midst of the darkness here with the Most High. So the point is that the horn business is not a strange thing, because now, although we have attributed the horns more than anything else with the devil, and then now when we come across various African cultures that highlight the horn, obviously we, the enslaved, are going to say, oh, I don't want nothing to do with that. Why? It's pagan. It's the devil. There's nothing African pagan. Pagan is European, heathen, all of that stuff. These are European tribes. They're tribes in Europe that are proud to be pagan. I wonder if you understand. Telling them they're pagan is not an insult. Okay, right. But I'm trying to bring to us now, before we get too dogmatic, a lot of us listening quite religious too. You know, we're just as lost as most of who we consider to be pagan and heathen. So we don't even have the time to take the time to listen to a conversation like this properly and to learn. We're so afraid. We're so brain scrubbed. Heathen African stuff. Yeah, but I'm trying to show you now, even in the Judeo-Christian tradition of ancient C2, you always see the ancient prophets and wise ones portrayed with the horns, specifically Moses with the horns, and even the Most High God with the light coming out of his head with the horns. Got it? So, of course, the ancient Osiris. Now, this ain't no devil. Osiris obviously has the horns. So the point I'm making here is that the concept of the horns, the petals of light radiating 144,000 petals, minutes of arc per second. This is an African tradition. Even before the concept of the devil, this is an African tradition. Canoe, obviously, with his horn. So this is only natural. But what I'm trying to show to the family here, let me get a better picture than this. What I'm trying to show to the family here is the importance, are you listening, family? Please listen. Is the importance of understanding or comprehending symbolism in artwork. For example, the 9 saints. We know of the whole tradition of the 9 saints that went to bring a certain higher level of Christianity to Ethiopia. Now, when you look at some of the ancient paintings, the Ethiopian paintings of the 9 saints, you would notice one of the saints is like his fingers are on fire. Yeah, his fingers are on fire. Now, what is that all about? He must be the Kete man. His hands are burning, fire finger. You see, all of this is important, eh? And those who understand the science, you may call it Masonic, but those who understand the science will always realize or notice when something is missing from the artwork. When you see Abraham and the Most High together, they're supposed to look like twins. When you see Christ and his disciples, one of them is supposed to look exactly like him, and he's supposed to be taller than the rest. That is the secret understanding of the ancient art. Now, you see a modern-day cat just come and draw the 9 saints. It may look nice and beautiful, but where's the fellow with his hands on fire? Yeah, and this is an ancient picture here, and you see the red is on top, the yellow. Yeah, but that's how it is in a lot of the artwork, the red and the yellow and the green, even before Ethiopia had a flag according to what we are taught by history. But anyway, I only made a stop here so you can understand the importance of symbolism. So again, we see the horn. Obviously, the Aset, the Isis, the Aset, and her child, the Heru. Aset is Isis. Isis is where you get married, you know. Those who parle patois, you know, to be pregnant is asset. In Christmas time in the patois lands, Dominica and St. Lucia, you hear the song they play every year, Mary asset. Mary asset, it means Mary pregnant. Asset means to be pregnant, and asset is Isis, where you got Mary from. Real thing. So you see the Isis there with the horns of Hathor in the Bible self in the Bible. God is speaking to the daughters of Zion, and he said, I shall make her horns, I shall give her hoofs of brass and horns of iron. The Most High in the Bible is telling the daughters of Zion, who he loves, that he shall give them hoofs of brass. How dare he? He insulting her. Is she a cow? Hoofs of brass and horns of iron. That's what God said to the daughters of Zion. So horns on the woman's head is nothing strange. So when you see in ancient Africa, they portray themselves, the woman, even the woman come out with the horns on her head. Yeah. But it's already written in the scripture that he shall give her horns of iron. Horns are symbolic of beauty and enlightenment. Yes, horns are symbolic of another level. So you see the great god Tehuti now. Now, Tehuti is very important here, because Tehuti represents the scribe, the writer, the God of wisdom, the commandment giver. Tehuti is the same Moses. This is why, you know, in ancient Kemet, in the 18th dynasty, you had three great kings, the Tutmoses. Tutmos, the first, second, and third. Now, Tutmos, which really the right name for Tutmos is Jehutimes. The right name for Tutmos is Jehutimes, because Tutmos or Thotmos is thought in Moses, because Tehuti is Moses, Mes. Moses means to be born, Mes. That's why you have the Charis Mes. Christ Mass is the Charis is the Christ, and Mes is to be born. Charis Mes is Christ Mes, Christ Mass. So Tehuti, which is thought. That's why they call him thought, because he's a god of wisdom, your thought. Tehuti. Tehuti is seen with the horns. Tehutimos, Jehuti, Mes. Moses to be born, Jehutimes, Tehuti and Mes. Tehuti Mes. And Tehuti is Moses. That's why he has the horns, and he's also the scribe. That's why you see him writing on the tablets. You see Jehutimes or Tehutimes or Tutmos or Moses writing on the tablet. Because he represents the scribe, and you see him here with the horns. Now look at the horns that you see on the head of Tehuti. Again, it is the same rendition with the horns that you see on the head of the Moses character. Because the Moses now, which is Moses, the scribe in this case, the writer of the 10 Commandments, you must understand, you know, this is deep symbolism. The 10 Commandments are like the moral instruction for mankind, the same Ma'at, the same laws of Ma'at again. So this is what you see Tehuti scribing, and Tehuti has the horns. Tehuti is the original God of wisdom. Tehutimes, Jehutimes, Moses, taught and Moses, Tehutimes, Jehutimes, and that is why he has the horns. So the whole concept of the ibis bird, which is the writer, that's why his beak is like the pen, and naturally he has the horns, and he's literally scribing, and he has the name and everything. And this is where, again, the ancient concept of the horn comes from. The horn is an African concept. Yes, you see it in other traditions because it has been borrowed, but the horn represents, what did the Buddha go through? The Buddha went through enlightenment. That's what the horns represent. The Buddha went through a change. wherein he is now oozing a certain level of intelligence. That's what the horn represents. That is why in Africa, we utilize the horns in our symbolism. So this whole vibes of the devil now, and they're utilizing the horns to portray this little devil. That is not the case at all. And the reason why this has been done is so that when you see the horns now, you shun away from it. Because remember, from the time you're born, they're showing you the devil with the horn. 3, 4, 5, you're still saying the devil with the horn. 6 years old, 7 years old, the Satan and the devil with the horn. So when you start to look into yourself at 15, 16, 18, and 19, and you see the horn in Africa, the horns on the glyph, the horns in traditional religion, you start to question yourself because the reverse psychology has kicked in. But the origin of it is from ancient Africa. So this is what it's all about, family. It's all about knowledge and information and inspiration. So we don't get tied down, so we don't get bolted down with the literal traditional enslavement that has been now given to us. Here, this one, after slavery. It comes in education, and it comes in religion, and it just comes in culture in general, the things that we have been, asked to adapt to. That is now our culture, the culture of our islands, the culture of our cities, the culture of our town, the music, the food, soul food. All of a sudden, the stuff that they give us to eat is soul food. That's soul food. No, family. So we got to be well in tune with understanding our ancient African history and culture and see exactly how to balance it. So I'm encouraging everyone to be with me on Sunday, the 24th day of March. Yes, give thanks for those who would have already purchased their ticket. Remember, it is only $20 admission for this beautiful lecture, Sheba, Aksum and the Ark. And of course, it is $15 if you register before the 15th of March. Beautiful. As I promised you, family, this lecture is going to be extremely in-depth and scholarly. We want to unravel the whole mystery, the whole legend. Where does history step in when it comes to Sheba, Aksum, and the Ark? Looking forward to your presence with us. It is definitely going to be beautiful. What is the story behind the Queen of Sheba? What is the truth behind her visit to the great King Solomon? The Ark of the Covenant and the Kebra-Nagas. Prepare for an intriguing look at the true history of the Kingdom of Aksum, Lalibela, and the Ark of the Covenant. Join us on the afternoon of Sunday, the 24th day of March, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time, for the very timely lecture entitled Sheba, Aksum, and the Ark. Admission to this lecture only $20. $15 before the 13th of March. To register and get your online ticket, visit the website priestisaacinstitute.com or email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Be there.